Enzo Maresca has sent worrying Joao Pedro message after Chelsea injury blow. Get daily Chelsea exclusive breaking news for please subscribe my channel. Enzo Maresca has found himself in a difficult position as Chelsea's attacking options continue to falter. The head coach's tactical structure has been praised for its fluidity and modern edge, but in recent weeks, it has become clear that one player has been caught in the middle of an identity crisis. Joao Pedro. Signed for £60 million from Brighton with expectations of becoming Chelsea's new attacking talisman, Pedro's output has dried up completely. 9 matches without a goal for both club and country is more than a blip. It is a pattern that reflects deeper issues within the way he's being utilized under Maresca's system. The Brazilian has shown his class in flashes, with sharp turns, crisp touches, and bursts of dribbling that leave defenders guessing. Yet his positioning and movement within the number 9 role have often left him isolated, surrounded, and frustrated. Maresca's vision for Chelsea has always been centered around control. His blueprint, borrowed from his tactical lineage at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, demands positional precision. Every attacker has a zone to operate within, and every movement is part of a bigger puzzle. But when those zones are not aligned with a player's natural instincts, performance suffers. Joao Pedro has felt that misalignment keenly. Emile Heskey, speaking about Pedro's struggles, summed it up best when he said the forward is being asked to play as something he's not, an out-and-out striker. Heskey described Pedro as a player who thrives when the game flows through him, when he can drop deep, carry the ball, and link play. That kind of creativity evaporates when he is forced to stand on the last line of defense, waiting for service that rarely comes. Chelsea's recent matches tell the story. In games against Nottingham Forest and Ajax, Pedro's influence dwindled whenever he was pinned centrally. The rhythm that makes him special, the ability to glide between lines and make defenders guessing, was replaced by static positioning and long periods without touches. Against Ajax, Maresca's decision to start Marc Guiu was telling. The young Spaniard, naturally a number 9, immediately brought structure to Chelsea's attack. He opened the scoring with a sharp finish and created space for others to move into. Pedro, shifted deeper behind the striker, looked far more comfortable. He connected passes, found pockets of space, and looked like a player free of the burden of leading the line. That match alone might have given Maresca the answer to a problem that's been brewing since August. The Italian coach has been patient with Pedro, and rightly so. When the two first met during Chelsea's pre-season tour in the United States, Maresca told him directly that he wanted to shape him into a central striker. That challenge was meant as a compliment, an opportunity to evolve his game and develop the clinical instincts of a finisher. Pedro welcomed it, saying he valued Maresca's feedback and attention to detail. In training, the manager worked closely with him on movement, positioning, and timing in the box. The process was clear: transform an elegant creator into a decisive goal scorer. But months later, with no goals to show and confidence dipping, that experiment has come under intense scrutiny. Complicating matters is Chelsea's ongoing injury crisis. Liam Delap's hamstring issue has left Maresca short of natural strikers, forcing Pedro into a role that might not fit him best. Delap, whose physicality and pressing instincts make him a pure number 9, has been out since August 30th. The club confirmed this week that he's nearing a return to training, but he remains unavailable for at least a couple more fixtures. In his absence, Maresca has had to shuffle his attacking deck, with Marc Guiu and Tyreek George offering youthful alternatives. Both have shown glimpses of promise, but neither can carry the same experience or composure that Pedro brings. This balance between trusting a project and demanding results defines Maresca's current dilemma. He knows that Pedro has world-class potential. His performances at Brighton and his time with Watford hinted at a player capable of blending flair with substance. But at Chelsea, the expectations are different. Patience is thinner, scrutiny sharper, and every misstep is amplified. 9 games without a goal feels heavier in West London than it might elsewhere, especially when Chelsea are still fighting to build rhythm under a new coach. What makes Pedro's situation particularly interesting is how his strengths could complement the rest of the team if used differently. As a number 10 or inside forward, Pedro's ability to pick up the ball between midfield and defense could unlock the space that has too often been missing in Chelsea's attacking transitions. He is not just a dribbler. He reads space well, has a quick first touch, and can release runners with clever passes. When paired with a natural striker, like Guiu or Delap, he can become the creative spark that turns half-chances into goals. Heskey's assessment pointed precisely to that. Pedro, in the right role, can create havoc by pulling players out of their positions. Against Nottingham Forest, that dynamic briefly came to life. After Guiu came on, Chelsea's attack began to stretch the pitch. Pedro's movements became more unpredictable, drifting left and right, drawing defenders out, and freeing others to exploit gaps. That version of Pedro, the one allowed to roam, is the version that terrified defenders during his best spells in the Premier League. It's that player Chelsea fans want to see again. However, Maresca's system does not always accommodate free roamers. His structure requires discipline, rotations, and positional interchanges built on synchronized movement. If Pedro plays deeper, someone else must compensate in pressing and defensive recovery. It's a tactical risk that Maresca might hesitate to take, unless he's confident the structure will hold. Yet, given the current form and lack of goals, a risk might be exactly what Chelsea need. Pedro's frustration is understandable. The hunger to prove himself at a top club burns in every touch, every run, and every frustrated gesture after another half-chance goes begging. At Brighton, he had the freedom to drop between the lines, link up with Mitoma and March, and drive at goal. At Chelsea, that same freedom feels restrained. The tactical rigidity that defines Maresca's football is both a strength and a weakness. It builds consistency, but sometimes suffocates expression. Maresca's recent comments about Pedro reflect both belief and pressure. He praised Pedro's versatility, noting that he can play across all attacking roles. Yet the statement that Joao can play in all attacking positions for us also creates ambiguity. It implies adaptability, but risks diluting identity. For a player like Pedro, clarity is key. Is Chelsea's future number 9, or is he the creative heartbeat behind one? Until that question is answered decisively, performances will continue to fluctuate. The timing of Delap's return could prove crucial. Once he's fit, Maresca will have the option to return Pedro to his more natural position, the one Heskey and others believe suits him best. With Delap leading the line, Pedro could operate freely behind him, threading passes, pressing high, and linking with wide forwards. It could be the tactical reset that reignites both his confidence and Chelsea's attacking rhythm. Marc Guiu's emergence adds another intriguing twist. The teenager's performance against Ajax wasn't just encouraging, it was a statement. He played with the instincts of a born striker, timing runs, anticipating crossings, and occupying defenders. His goal was a reminder of what Chelsea have been missing, a poacher's presence inside the box. While it's premature to place too much responsibility on Guiu, his showing will have forced Maresca to rethink his short-term lineup. Saturday's match against Sunderland will test Maresca's adaptability once more. With Delap still sidelined, the choice between persisting with Pedro as the number 9 or reconfiguring the front line looms large. The temptation to reward Guiu with a start will be strong, especially given how the youngster lifted the team midweek. But the risk of overexposing him too early must also be considered. Pedro's mental strength will be vital during this period. Strikers live off confidence, and goal droughts can be brutal. But Pedro is not just a striker. He is a multi-dimensional attacker. Maresca's challenge is to harness that versatility without overcomplicating his responsibilities. If he can strike that balance, Chelsea might not only rediscover Pedro's best form, but also gain a more balanced attack overall. The signs of progress are faint, but visible. Pedro's link-up play in recent matches has improved. His pressing intensity remains high, and his technical sharpness has not diminished. What's missing is the final product, the instinctive finish, the quick release, the poacher's touch. Those elements come with confidence, rhythm, and most importantly, being played in the right position. Chelsea's season is still young, and there's room for tactical evolution. Maresca has built his reputation on detail and development. His track record of nurturing players into new roles speaks for itself. But Chelsea fans are not known for their patience. The upcoming fixtures, including the Sunderland clash, could define not only Pedro's trajectory, but also Maresca's credibility as a man-manager capable of balancing system